Hey, this is Soldier7 here, reporting for Right Wing Federation, and this video is going to be about the RNC, or I guess the Republican National Convention of 2024. As you know, last week it occurred in Milwaukee, and I'm just going to do a quick review on that and maybe talk a little bit about the DNC that's supposed to take place, later on in Chicago and so forth. And yeah, now I will say I didn't really watch all of it, to be honest. Although I guess you could say that I did watch most of it. I did watch all the big parts, the important parts, Trump's speech and whatnot, and his pick for VP. I saw that and whatnot, and the speech for that and whatnot. But yeah, I guess I can say, like, given the amount of people that were there and spoke there and whatnot, I would say that from what I understand, from what I looked at, it seemed to have gotten a lot of positive feedback. Now, will that enthusiasm be carried until November? I don't know, but one thing I can say from what I mostly saw is that it seemed pretty well. It seemed like it was well set up, and yeah. Now, as for the DNC that's supposed to occur later on in Chicago, yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit challenging, which is weird because if I'm not mistaken, the RNC or the Republicans usually have their national conventions a little more challenging and so forth. But yeah. But nevertheless, this did feel like a convention that came off as, I guess, somewhat more unifying and so forth and whatnot, especially after the as a Donald Trump assassination attempt and whatnot. I heard that some people who were not supposed to speak there did end up speaking there, like Nikki Haley or so forth. So yeah, maybe it was about, bringing all sorts of people together. Maybe this year for the GOP, it was about bringing more unification and so forth and whatnot. And yeah, so I don't know. It seems like the way they played that out, it seemed, yeah, like a good feedback. A lot of the people that spoke there, yeah, said some interesting stuff. Some interesting people spoke there. Some I didn't really think too highly of, but nevertheless, I mean, if just from my personal opinion, I mean, for me, national conventions, they're just not something I'm too interested in, but, I figured I would at least check out, some of it, but I end up checking out most of it, and, yeah, I will say, even though the DNC has not occurred yet, I think the Libertarians had their national convention and so forth and whatnot, and other parties. I don't know about the other parties, like the Constitution Party or the Green Party or the Freedom and Justice Party. I don't know. But yeah, all I can just say is for the RNC this year's Republican National Convention, all I can say is even though they usually get a more negative feedback than the Democrats for some reason, I don't know if that's true or not. All I can just say is just for what it is, for those who I may agree with and those who I may not agree with that were there and spoke there and not there and so forth. It did seem pretty well crafted. I think that it seemed to have good feedback. Like I said, it seemed like the attempt was to bring some unification, not just in the party, but maybe within the country. Maybe they're trying to attract other people who may not vote Republican, but are more willing to, or try to persuade the other side. I don't know, but it seems like, yeah, they did pretty good on that. Now, hopefully they can keep that up for November. Now, as for the DNC, yeah, I think it's going to be a little more challenging given everything that's occurred with them at this time. But anyway, that's it. I just want a quick review. That's all I'm going to say for right now. This is Soldier7. Thanks for listening.